What's up, witches? I had to get my tea. I was like, wait a minute. Hi, tea. Hello. Where's my tea? I didn't have that at first, so I had to hasten and get my tea going. What's up? What's up? Say hello. I should pull the comments up. What's up? What's up, witches? How we doing? What's up? Let's see if these notifications work. Welcome to High Tea. It is the full moon in Gemini. Are we in the vibe? I hope this music's allowed. I don't get penalized for it. It says it's copyright free, so we shall see. How are we enjoying this full moon, my witches? Hey, what's up, honey? How are you? Yes, it has been a bit. It's been a little busy. How you doing? How are you on this beautiful full moon? Let me see. Do I have a view yet? I don't think so. It's a little cloudy tonight. So hopefully I get my full moon view. I usually have a pretty good view where I am. I'm really grateful for that. So are you enjoying? Can you see the moon? Is it full just yet where you are? It is a full moon in Gemini, which I think is perfect for high tea. It's a chatty moon for a chatty mood. So that's good. Oh, wow. That's pretty powerful. That is pretty powerful. Um, the that to me tells me that you are probably like me, very connected to the moon. I don't know if your emotions tend to fluctuate like with the moon and its different phases, but I noticed that for me when I was a bartender, I started paying attention to astrology. And that's when I noticed how whatever the moon was doing, I was doing, because the moon will also show me like really deep answers to things. And, it's basically just like the representation of like the goddess and like feminine energy as a whole for me. So I get a lot of direction there too. This full moon for me has been about surrender and transformation for sure. That's a really big one. Like um, transforming further into what is in alignment with like my passions and my purpose and my mission. So transformation is a really big one. Hey, Cynthia, what's up? Welcome. Yes, I tend to get my period around the full moon as well. I don't know if I'm ovulating specifically because I don't really like test for any of that, but I do tend to get my period around that time. Hi, Nori. Oh, thank you, darling. Thank you. I feel like this is a part of my transformation. I'm usually on here and I'm just like, but I was like, today I was stepping into a different energy. And I was like, girl, put some lip gloss on. Thank you. I don't mean to be like that girl, but I'm actually not really wearing any makeup. I just like put a little pencil on my eyebrows so they didn't look too crazy and a little bit of lippy. I drink my water and mind my business, so that's all I need. Yes. You used to be on that cycle too? Yes. Wait, okay, let me put this up here. Thank you. Thank you. So you guys know I'm not an astrologer, but that astrology is very important to me. My practice, it like helps me through my life. The more I learn, the more helpful it is. So I take advantage of it and try to get as much information as um, as I can for myself. And apparently, I'm going through something with Libra and my Libra-ness. I'm a Libra moon, Libra rising, and my Venus is in Libra. Apparently, this is important because of some north nodes and some south nodes and some other stuff. But whatever's going on with my nodes and Libra, apparently, it's bringing me into a very Venusian time in my life, which I feel like I am very much ready for. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to be Venusian. That sounds really good to me. Yeah. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Oh, really? Okay, that's amazing. Yeah. Okay. Oh, you got all right. Okay. You guys are in tune. Um, yeah, I do find it really interesting that I tend to get it around the full moon. Mine just ended actually, so I'm done with that. Um, and then here we are, right into the full moon. So it's always like right around here for the most part. But yeah, I feel like when that happens, it's because the moon is your planet. The different planets show up for us differently. Some are felt a little bit more strongly than others. And I think, for me, it's just like the moon just has like a very significant pull on things. The sun as well. I am a Leo. So that's like my ruling planet for everything anyway. So that kind of gets me. I'm mad basic. You want to know what's funny? The tea I'm drinking today is my BronxWitch Bodega tea, Basic Bitch. So yeah, I guess I'm feeling very basic at this present moment because I even gravitated towards this basic ass but very good tea that I make. But yeah, I'm kind of basic. The sun and the moon really impact like how I feel and what's going on in my life. Yes. Hey Tabitha, welcome. Hey Betty. What's going on? Welcome to the live, y'all. Ha, not covering anybody's shifts. That's fair. I think that's super fair. Yes. I love when you guys say hi to each other. Hi, everybody. What's up? So, do you have your teas? Do you have your herbals to enjoy? This is High Tea Live. This is a time when we come together in community to hang out and talk about witchy shit. Yes. Okay. You guys can ask any questions that you like. There is a Q&A box on YouTube in the chat now these days, I think. I think I have to set it up. Hold on, let me set it up. You don't have to use it, but if you want to be organized about it, there's a box. Okay, now at the top of the chat where you can drop any of your questions about tarot, magic, spirituality. Most of you guys know me around here, but in case you don't, I am Alysha Kravetz. I am the creator of BronxWitch and BetterWitch, and I'm the owner of BronxWitch HeadQuarters. And I have been on my magical journey as a practicing witch for 25 years now. I've been reading tarot for about 20 professionally for the last 5 or so. And meditation, tarot, and Reiki really form a lot of the basis of my spiritual path. I am Wiccan by religion, which is like very old school, I know, but hear me out. There's some reasons. And yeah, that's me. So I like these opportunities to hang out, chill, be casual. I do offer virtual classes and coaching and things of that nature, but this is a chill session to relax and just talk about witchy stuff because that's what we like to do. So you got to wait, a tattoo of a cabbage playing a saxophone? A jazz cabbage? What? That sounds hilarious. As somebody who has a Tina Belcher tattoo, I feel like I understand your sense of humor. Jazz cabbage sounds hilarious. Also, shout out to you, like putting some respect on cabbage's name. Because cabbage is very slept on as a vegetable. I feel for cabbage. Like it really, nobody is ever like, oh my God, I can't wait to go and have me some cabbage. But like, cabbage be bussin'. You know what I'm saying? And if you like coleslaw, where, without the cabbage, where are we? We're nowhere. We're just carrots. That's where we are. Thank you, Tabitha. I appreciate you very, very much. Yes, I agree that it's amazing. Shout out to my girl Jazz Paulino, tattoo artist here in New York City. Just opened up her own shop. Shout out to her. But she does a lot of great things, but in particular, really likes cartoon tattoos. So she did my pinups here. In case you guys haven't seen, obviously they're supposed to be seen standing, but anywho, yeah. Okay, so that's my witch. These were inspired by a Mexican American artist who does these really cool, like very feminine, very animated kind of pinup styles. And I've always loved pinup tattoos, that like classic Americana tattoo look. But they're a little bit masculine for someone as small as me to have on their forearms. So when I saw her pinups, I was like, oh my God, they're perfect. I can have pinup girls, but have them be a little bit more, a little more cutesy, which is like my vibe. I'm all woman, but I'm really kind of cutesy too. So I like that. And I took my cousins to her when they, my younger cousins who did the whole, we're coming to New York, we want to do grown up things, and I was like, I got you. I'll take you where you need to go. What do you want to do? And they're like, we want to get tattoos. And I'm like, all right, I got it, girl. Right. So I take them to see Jazz, and I can't go into a tattoo studio and not get one. So I have to just like steer clear of them in general. Because if I'm going, I'm getting one. I'm there for moral support. Nope. I'm going to be picking something stupid off the flash sheet to get it. Because it's just like for me, it's very much like an addiction type of a thing. It's been a while since I've had one, and it is what it is. It's not like I'm like, oh my God, I gotta have, but like the whole process of it is very nostalgic for me. It just brings up so many good feelings because tattoos, some people for them, like their tattoos have to be with somebody who's like mad, professional or like really experienced. They do all this research. It's got to be exactly right. Da, da, da. No, I'm the girl that ends up at the tattoo parlor at 4 a.m, drunk with her friends, and picks something off the flash sheet and like whatever's the cheapest. um, and I like that. I like that about myself. I like that about my tattoos. They have funny stories that go with them. I have ridiculous things, snails, and just like kind of random stuff from just like funny moments. Some of them obviously have like, they all have significance. Some of them have like really deep meaning behind them, but I don't take the whole process so seriously. The process for me is fun. I enjoy tattoo studios, they're really fun environments. I like the way they feel late at night while everybody's a little tipsy, even though nobody's supposed to be under the influence of alcohol because that's illegal. But everybody's drunk, and nobody's talking about it. But we all know what's going on, and we all know why we're here. And everyone's just chill, and it's good. And you do the back and forth with your artist, getting your like stupid little $100 flash sheet tattoo right, and then you have the stencil in the process, and then you're like, ooh, it's gonna hurt. Oh my god, I can't believe it. And you're silly. The whole thing is a blast to me, and even the healing process. I really enjoy the healing process too, which is like a little bit of the masochist in me. Like enduring the pain of the healing process. I'm not like a pain person. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like, yeah, it hurts. But I do like the healing process after of like the pain getting better. It's weird. It's hard to explain. But yeah, if I go into a tattoo parlor, all of that comes flooding back and I must go through it. So it'll be like something tiny, like little itty bitty things, but I'll be like, ink me somewhere, stab me. Okay, I love it. The devil wearing overalls. Yeah, the devil's weed. Yes. We're going to have some of that maybe. Maybe YouTube. Not definitely. Don't get mad at me. I still have not bothered to look up the rules on YouTube about any of the things I do. Hey, Jeanette, what's up? Tabitha, you have 76 tattoos? What? Incredible. Kawaii cabbage. Nuri, you have zero, but you want some. Fear holds you back. What are you afraid of? Are you afraid of the pain? Um, are you afraid about the commitment of like picking something and then regretting it? Where does the fear emanate from? Where does it sit in the body? Let's talk about it. Okay, so it's like the needles. The needle is the issue for you. Um, how do I bring that into context? So a tattoo needle is very much not like a needle for a vaccine or a shot. It's much, much shorter. The whole point of the needle is that it's not actually to puncture through your flesh. It's just to go through the few layers of skin that are at the surface, like the epidermis or whatever is underneath that, to inject ink into that level, that layer, so that it's down deep enough so that while you wash, your skin cells away, the image doesn't fade instantly, but it will fade eventually because it's not that deep in your body. Um, so if that helps a little bit, like it's a much shorter thing. And I liken it to, for me, it's like just getting drawn on with a marker that's sharp. If that makes any sense, like that level of pain, it's nowhere near what you would imagine from it. It's kind of more how do I describe it? You know what I would say about the pain that's most important? When you get a shot, when you get like a needle, it's like a boom. It's like a one-time thing, and I feel like that's really intense. The tattoo needle is like a gentle, long-term, slow thing. So it's like a kind of like it's hard to describe, but it's not like a shot. It's like the opposite of a shot. Instead of it being this thing that like suddenly happens and like shocks you and is like, sends your heart through the roof, it's more of sort of like a endurance thing, you know, like how long can you hold your breath kind of thing. I don't know. That's probably not helpful. Okay, if you have to look away, that's a good thing. Because when you're getting a tattoo, you don't want to be staring at your dog at the tattoo artist because you're going to be there for a while. Like this little thing right here was like 20 minutes, to make sure like they take their time to make sure it's right. You can't really like make mistakes. So they take their time, and if you're just like staring, it'd be weird. So like it's customary when getting a tattoo to just like chill out and face the other direction and just like let them do what they need to do and like chat with your friends. That's why I like going. I've gone to get a tattoo one time by myself. Two times by myself. um and it was because they were like some of the more significant tattoos that I have. The first was this, my pentagram, like wand finger. I got this like after a late night shift bartending. I think alcohol was involved, but I had been planning this for a while. It was just the alcohol that made me be like, let's go do this now, 3 a.m. after my shift randomly. Yeah. So that I got by myself. And then this one I got by myself. Pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. Yeah. So I got that by myself. Fordham Road. Red Dragon Tattoo, I think it's called. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome. It's I think it's a Buddhist saying or what have you, but it's something that I try to remind myself of a lot. It's an Eastern philosophy because I've also heard Sadhguru say essentially the same thing, but in a different way, which is that suffering comes from the incorrect belief that you shouldn't be enduring what you're going through. And who's to say if that, like, if you shouldn't, or whatever, but if you believe that what you're going through is something that you should not be going through, that is when you are going to suffer. If you can shift your perspective and say, I'm supposed to be going through this for some reason. Why? What am I supposed to take from this? What am I supposed to learn from this? Then suffering suddenly stops. The pain does not. Pain is real, and in life it is unavoidable. But suffering is a choice. And I think that can sometimes be a big pill to swallow for people because it sounds, when you say that, like you're victim blaming, or like you're trying to tell people that, like, oh, if you're miserable or you're unhappy or whatever, it's your choice, it's your, fault, or what have you. So that might seem kind of harsh, but I guess I got to give it the sorry, not sorry, because I do genuinely feel that way. Um, that the pain that we go through is not, we are not to blame for it necessarily. It's not our fault. Um, but that whether or not that pain is going to be a lesson or it's going to be something that we struggle through and kind of wallow in is our choice. So, anyway, I think that's what the saying is trying to say. Um, it wasn't the easiest. It wasn't the easiest, I'll be honest. It's any place that's very bony and there's not a lot of flesh and it's right up on the bone is going to be a little intense. Knuckles and, spots like that where it's right on the bone, elbow, um, that is going to be a little bit like, oof. I also have work on my spine, like I have a tramp stamp. That was my first tattoo. I got it before tramp stamps were a thing, very shortly before, which is super annoying. But freaking Wedding Crashers made tramp stamps like the phrase a thing. It was not really a big thing before that movie. And I got it like a couple of years before that movie came out. So annoying. But I have a tramp stamp and that was on my spine. That was intense. I feel that shit at the top of my head. And then I have some a sternum piece and some under boob work and some stuff on the sides that killed. I like went into shock. This is because it was summertime. I think this was the day my husband proposed to me actually. And I wanted a tattoo up in Martha's Vineyard of the vineyard because I'm very literal. I'm not very creative. So I was like, I just want a tattoo of the vineyard and decided to get it on my ribs on the side. And I was just like in a bathing suit. And then, it's never super, super hot because it's the vineyard. So it's way north. So it's summertime, but it's like 70 in the day and now it's like 50 at night. So the temperature drops. I'm in like a bathing suit and shorts. And most of my clothes is off because I'm getting this side piece. And I like went into shock. I was like shaking. I had to get blankets on me and stuff. Because that pain was intense. But not like, again, not like how you think. It's more of just like a, oh, and like it just like having to hold on to something for a period of time can be like a lot of work for your body to do. So that's what made that one this ribs difficult. Again, on bone, not a lot of flesh there. So those are the ones that are the hardest. Yeah, the why me, I don't deserve this. Yeah. There's always a lesson. There's always a lesson. There isn't anything that we are going through that is not supposed to be happening to you. And the sooner you realize that, the better like everything gets, like immediately. Okay, we have some questions in the Q&A box. Let me see where this goes. Oh, the questions from the Q&A box, I don't think will go on the screen. Okay. Okay, yeah. So put your questions just in the chat box from now on. Because I want you guys to see the questions too. Okay, so this question is, what kinds of tarot oracle cards tend to call to you? Is there a certain art style that draws you in? That's a great question. I feel like, Nuri, were we talking about this in the shop the other day about being kind of basic with Rider-Waite Smith? But yeah, I am a Rider-Waite Smith girl. I heard a joke that I've repeated it a million times now, so it's not funny anymore because probably all of you have heard it. But basically, that like if you're into Rider-Waite-Smith, then that means you started reading tarot like yesterday or like 10, 15 years ago. So it's obviously the latter for me. But yeah, so it's a little old school. But I started reading, or I picked up tarot for myself at a time right before it was so commonplace for people to create, all these amazing decks. That wasn't really happening. Certainly, there were many variations, on the Thoth, the Marseille, the different styles. But for everybody and their mama to be making their own decks about everything from, cats to like whatever, um, that was not happening. So Rider-Waite-Smith was pretty much like the standard that was out there. But funny story about my first deck, which I still have. I did not know about the different styles of tarot and the different styles of cards out there. So I didn't realize that you could have a deck with pictures on all the cards. The first deck that I have has pictures for the major arcana that are very simple. And then the minor arcana has no fucking pictures. So the Four of Cups is just 4 cups, and the Three of Cups is just 3 cups. And that is the hardest freaking type of card to try to read as your first deck because you have no information to go on besides the number of cups or the number of wands. Terrible deck to start out with. Way, way harder than a deck that actually has pictures. Pro tip for you guys. But I'm low-key happy that that was my first deck and I didn't know any better to go get one with pictures because I sat there and memorized the guidebook. I actually copied the whole guidebook into my journal to like memorize each one and worked with that same guidebook's list of definitions for years and years and years. Because remember, being a tarot reader as a job, none of this existed when I was doing this. So tarot was legitimately just my way of speaking to spirit. It was just something that I was learning for my own craft. And so I wasn't like watching readings and doing all of this stuff. So it took me the longest fucking time. I just did not know that you could get a deck with pictures for the minor arcana. No idea. So that helped because I memorized these definitions early on. But memorizing the definitions isn't really necessary, but it's like a party trick, I guess, that I have that I memorized this like book. So yeah, so I'm a classic girl. I love Rider-Waite-Smith. When it comes to cards, for me, I kind of gravitate to the style, like the quality of it that's different from what everybody else thinks is good. So like what's really in right now are kind of thick cards that are very glossy, and that are on the larger side. And I actually really don't like that because I have very small hands and the way that I shuffle is kind of aggressive. So I like a deck that's smaller. I like a deck that has softer cards, and I like a deck that is matte. No glossy sheen on it, so they're not flying all over the place. The Modern Witch Tarot deck is definitely very pretty, but I actually usually bring that deck up as an example of ones I don't like. Because even though I love the imagery, physically they're thick. They're like twice as thick as like any of my other decks. They're on the larger size, the card width, and they're super glossy, shiny, slide all over the place, very thick cardstock. So yeah, so my decks, I tend to gravitate towards like style, and then when it comes to imagery, I would say I don't like super abstract stuff. The super abstract stuff is really pretty, but if they're pretty, that means I'm probably not going to use them, and I'm not really a deck collector. I get decks because I have a use for them. I'm not trying to have a whole bunch of decks just to say I have them. All of my decks really they have a purpose. They're different because they have a reason. So yeah, so I'm not really a deck collector. So the imagery is like If it's pretty, it's not going to get used, so there's no need for me to have it. And then if it's super abstract, like, what's the point? I'm pulling cards because I'm trying to make these abstract signs and symbols and messages that spirit's giving me through the birds and shit clear, so that I can make a damn decision about what I need to do. I don't need more abstractness. You know what I'm saying? Just give it to me. Put two people on. Am I supposed to be with this guy? Put two people on the card. Put two people on the card. Don't give me like a wilting flower and a bee. Like, I don't know. No, just give it to me. Give me the information. Isn't that the point of the tarot card? It's supposed to clarify the messages, right? Not give you like more messages. What could this mean? So I'm not really into the abstract stuff. Like that Gustav Klimt deck. I love Gustav Klimt's paintings. I really do. The Kiss, I think, is one of the most beautiful things ever. And I love the stylized way that it's done. It's so decadent. Ooh, that's the name of the perfume I'm wearing right now. Marc Jacobs, Decadence. It's decadent, you know? It's just like gold and like all these robes of different colors everyone's wearing. It's very royal. It's very decadent. So I thought I would like the cards, and I immediately donated them because I was like, they're pretty, but they make no fucking sense. What does this painting have to do with like, yes, no, should I invest in this business? I need real answers here. Yes, a flower wilting and a bee. Like, these are not answers. Those are not answers. So, by the way, guys, if you're seeing people's commentary on the screen, that is most likely because they are a Coven community member. Okay. So, Coven community members get access to our discussion feed and all of the virtual events that happen in that private space. So, if you are not a Coven community member, you should consider joining us. The link is down in the description. You can also find it at bronxwitch.com/online. When you enter our online portal, you will see a bunch of virtual classes and digital downloads that you can purchase. Some of them are free, but you can also become a monthly member in the Coven community and get access to more lives and virtual events like this one, like the book club, like the Witches of Color support group, etc. Yes. Tarot for all ages is not for all ages. I don't know that one. I don't know that one. I like that. Yeah. See, if that is what matters. That's the most important thing. If you are wanting to use the cards not as collector pieces, but for the purpose of communicating with spirit, then they should speak your language. In the BetterWitch coaching program, one of our modules is on divination. And I was talking about how I recommend people go through the process of selecting your divination tools. And remembering what divination is, okay? Your cards, your runes, your whatever, they are not giving you the answers to anything. They are pieces of cardboard. They are pieces of clay. They are pieces of bone, whatever they may be. The messages that you receive are coming from spirit. And we talk in that module a lot about what does that mean, spirit, what spirits, which spirits, whose spirits, how do you know, blah, blah, blah. But for simplicity's sake, from spirit. And the tool that you have is there to help you better translate that message into like language. Spirit does not talk to us in language. They don't have lips and vocal boxes. They speak to us in vibrations, signs, and symbols. And so you'll see things, you'll hear things, you'll get certain sensations, and you just won't have a relationship with spirit enough that you can be really certain that that's not, your mind playing tricks on you, or you're really being pointed in the right direction or being told something. And the tool just makes that easier. Which tool you use should be based on who you're talking to. And the example that I use is my mom is in her 80s, right? And my mom cannot wrap her mind around the idea of FaceTime, no matter how many times we explain it to her. We give her the phone, we say, look at the phone like you're looking in a mirror. And this woman's got the phone up to here. I'm just seeing nothing but nostril. And I'm like, Mommy, put the phone down. She'll put the phone down. No, not down. Put put it down like a mirror. Cannot wrap her head around this, right? So I could use an iPhone to communicate with my mother, but there would be no point. It would not be the most ideal way to speak to her. She's not doing what she needs to do. I can't concentrate on the conversation because all I see is nostril hairs. Like, it's not the best mode for us to talk with each other. So I need to use the landline. I need to call her at her house. I need to call her on the landline and have a regular phone conversation because as she understands that makes sense, right? So when you're choosing your divination tool, you're asking yourself the same question. Who am I talking to on the other side of this tool? And what tool would be best for speaking to these particular spirits? And so that's how my collection has grown, based on different types of information or different types of energies that I want to connect with, and then picking the tools that they are going to be able to speak to me with. I don't use tarot to speak to my ancestors, my African American, more recent ancestors. They didn't use tarot. So I use a different modality that I don't really read, but that's what they want to use. So that's what we use. Yeah. Yeah. I think, yeah, it is a translation tool, and that's what they're there for. They're there to help those intuitive hits and those psychic downloads that you receive from spirit in a language that you don't quite understand in a way that you can like put into words. They help you translate it into something you can put into words. Nuri asked, of all the witchy shows, movies, which would you say is your number one favorite? Oh, that's easy. Charmed is my favorite show. Hocus Pocus is my favorite movie in the like youth genre. And then The Craft is my favorite as an adult. Um, Charmed is the favorite witchy show because it had the biggest impact on me in becoming a witch, for sure. Um, it was a positive depiction of witches who were like young in their 20s, living on their own, doing their thing. And at the time that came out, I was probably like 13 or something, 12, 13. So I was very much like, that's going to be me when I grow up. I'm going to be a young woman in the city fighting off demons, saving people. And now I'm kind of doing that. Hocus Pocus is my kid favorite because, I mean, come on, it's just great. So well done. Such a classic. And they did not do a bad job with part two, I would say. They did pretty okay, in my opinion. If you understood that it was for kids, I think they did pretty good. And then The Craft, I haven't seen the part two. I kind of have no interest in seeing the part two. I just know it's not going to be what I want. And the original is just, I mean, super freaking classic. And I like, obviously, all the CGI and terrible whatever is going on, poofs and things, magic happening. They weren't like so far off with a lot of things, they definitely over Hollywoodified it, becoming possessed by this god that you invoke and all of that good stuff. But the concepts behind that were like pretty legit, you know? So like as a witch, like as a grown-up witch, I'm not mad at it. Of all the Hollywood depiction of witches, of course they went with the most extreme, you know, thing. But they didn't make it silly. The magic that was happening was like straight up happening in the story. The Hollywood part was that it could take you over and that it was something negative and that you should avoid it because you're going to get possessed and taken over and all of that stuff. That was the extra part. That was the Hollywood part. But the actual like magic in the movie, it wasn't like, oh, it was just somebody pretending to be like, no, these young ladies conjured up some spirits and did some shit and then did a little too much, you know, but they took it seriously, which I liked. Let me see. There was one more question before Cynthia's. How do you best stay in a witch state of mind during life's normal moments? See, I'll have to be honest with that question because normal is my witchy life now. So yeah, I would, you know what I would say? I would say don't sweat it. I would say don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. This is not a test. Being a witch is not a test. It's not, and I know you're in academia, so approaching things this way is going to come naturally. And it'll take some time after you're done with school for that to stop being the case. I can very much relate. You start to get back to a place where not everything is an assignment. And some things are assignments, but they don't have deadlines. They're just there for the experience. And becoming a witch is like that. So try not to hold yourself to any type of deadline or some type of calculation of how much of your life is spent witching. Am I witching enough? Are enough of my moments witchy moments? Did I take advantage of every opportunity to do this in the witchy way? Free yourself of that. Free yourself of that. And I would say instead, keep asking yourself the question of, what does this whole witch thing do for me? How does it make my life better? Does it make my life better? That's something I would say to all of you guys. Practice your craft mindfully. Do this mindfully. I had this conversation with someone in the shop today who's very new on her journey, and she's just was just, you know, had never even smudged before. So she was getting a sage bundle and asking me about, you know, smudging and how to go about that and all that stuff. And I told her the most important thing that she could do, because of course she's concerned about doing it right, and am I going to burn something, and how long do I leave it, and blah, 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 blah. And all of that is important to know, of course. But I told her that the thing that's most important for her to focus on is whether or not it actually does anything. So I told her, take a piece of paper, write it down. At some point, we'll get you a fancy journal. But for now, just get yourself some paper and make a note of how it feels before you smudge your home with this herb bundle. And then make a note after, maybe the night after, maybe 2 nights after, maybe both. Maybe in a week you check in again and see if it feels like you should do it again, or do things still feel the same? You know, because she was asking, do I do it every day? Do I do, you know, and I'm like, this is where I want to help witches the most, because I want you guys to be at a place where you go looking for those answers for yourself, right? How do I light a sage bundle? That's something you ask somebody, right? Show me how you like this. Okay, no problem. But how many times to do it, whether or not to do it, these are things that I want you guys to start seeking from within and from your spiritual team, your ancestors and your guides. Okay? Because those are the types of things that are unique that for all of us and will be different for all of us. Some witches will do it every day. Okay, great. Fun, wonderful for them. You might not need that. And so we can give you guidance on those types of things, but search for those things within yourself and build up a relationship with your guides, your ancestors, your other elevated beings, so that you can go to them for that guidance. Because all I can tell you is what works for me. It's them and you that will determine what works best for you. And I could tell you that in a reading too, probably. But like basing what you do off of what I do, is not really the best for you. So, yeah, that's my answer to that. There are no normal moments for me, but it's a journey that you're going on, and so enjoy it and pay attention. Oh, my point. Pay attention to whether or not the things that you're doing are actually making a difference in your life and how they're making a difference. Because here's the thing, we are results driven. We are results driven. Okay. So we want to see success. We want to see good things happen in our lives. Okay. No problem. But we have a problem with not paying attention and asking for stuff and then walking away and not paying attention and not realizing like, oh shit, I did get that thing. Or like, oh wait, this is exactly what I prayed for. Or like, oh, that did work. Or like, oh, that didn't work. And I keep trying it because the internet keeps telling me I'm supposed to be smudging my house with this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So everything that you are doing as a witch, pay attention and be mindful. See how your life is actually impacted by it. Because when shit works, you're going to keep doing it. And trust, it will become a part of your everyday. All it has to do is work. And then it will become your go-to. It'll be the way that you do it, right? This bath that I'm going to take tomorrow morning when I get up for the full moon, I'm taking it not because there's some rule out there that says in order for me to be witchy, I'm supposed to be taking baths every full moon. I'm taking it because that shit works. It works for me. It keeps working for me. When I skip those baths, I don't feel the same. So yeah, don't stress yourself about being witchy in the normal moments. Pay more attention to whether or not being witchy is actually benefiting your life. If it is, you'll keep doing it, and you'll do it to a point where you're doing it in kind of all the things that you do because it's working, or you won't. Or it won't work for you and you'll say, fuck this witch shit. And that's a good thing too, because why waste your time and money on something that's not working for you? Yes. No, but that's okay. Being curious is a good thing. It's how we learn, literally. As little babies, and nothing really changes about that. Curiosity is good. I'm hoping that everybody is really super curious, because I'm doing some new things that some of you might be interested in if you are in fact as curious about my practice as you say you are. So we'll see how curious. Yeah, that's an interesting point. Nothing's really normal, Um, you just start seeing magic in everything and recognizing things that you didn't before. And yes, it's how you look at the world. It's how you interact with the world. Oh my God. Speaking of how you interact with the world, can I give you guys some gossip? Okay. So I got a phone call today at the shop, and they said they were on the shop's mailing list. So I don't know if they follow on this YouTube. So if you're in here watching, then you're in here watching, because this was a weird ass call. So one of our community members, I can't recall the name. Can't. I'm not going to call them out. Um, a couple of weeks ago, you guys might recall, if you're on the mailing list, I sent out an email just kind of making a formal statement as HQ, um, stating that we do not condone genocide of people anywhere in the world, and are particularly saddened by the genocides happening in Palestine, Congo, Sudan, and other parts of the world. In that email, I did not mention the name of any of the countries that are perpetrating those genocides. I did list the countries that are enduring them. And in that email, I shared some resources. The Witches of Color support group that week started off with talking about that topic. Juliet Diaz, who is a witch, who is the author of The Altar Within and the creator of Spirit Bound Press, held like a virtual ritual for peace and protection in the Middle East and elsewhere. And I shared the link to the Palestinian Children's Relief Fund that we were raising money for, just telling people that they could go donate, for humanitarian aid over there and stuff like that. And I get a phone call at the shop from somebody talking about they didn't appreciate my anti-Israel emails, and that as a Jewish member of the community, they were disappointed and felt attacked or something. What? And see, now this is something that, like, I think the internet does to people, and I find it so amusing because once it comes up off the internet, it falls apart really fast. It falls apart really fast. Because this person started out, I pick up the phone, I'm like, hello, thanks for calling BronxWitch HeadQuarters. This is Allie, how can I help you? Whatever. And they're like, yeah, my name is such and such, and I'm a Jewish member of your community, and I just wanted to say that I was disappointed by your recent emails that were anti-Israel. And then I was just silent. And immediately it started to fall apart. I'm on your mailing list, and I love your website, and I love your shop, but I was just, and I was like, what emails are you referring to? Because I can't recall any emails that we've sent out that are anti anybody. Because we aren't anti anybody, so it would be really strange if any of our emails indicated that. So which email are you referring to exactly? Oh, well, the one you sent a couple weeks. Oh, you don't remember? No, don't catch an attitude with me. Don't catch an attitude with me, because you can't point to an email that says anything about being anti anybody. You called me with the bullshit. So, talking about you can't remember? No, can you remember? Can you recall at what point I said anybody over here was anti anybody? So, in very polite terms, I just quickly explained that we are not anti anybody over here at HQ. Therefore, none of our emails would ever indicate such a thing, that we are pro humanity, and would like to see violence against people done with everywhere, you know. And they were like, "Oh, okay," and I was like, "Well, thank you for calling to clear that up." They were like, "Oh no, your email just kind of like implied something something or other." But no, thank you for clearing that up. Child, get the hell off my phone. Do not play on my goddamn phone. Are you serious? So, I think that was a good learning lesson for that individual. The internet will have you believing that you got the balls, and you don't got the balls. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't got them. You do not got them. The internet allows you to lie to yourself like you got the balls. But then you press somebody in real life and you realize that you don't got them balls because them balls was shaking in that motherfucker's throat. Soon as he got that first line out and got nothing but silence from me, like, because I'm the type of person who, when you talk to me on the phone, you can see my face. I'm that type of person. When you talk to me on the phone, you can see my face. Because I'm loud like that. My energy is loud. Somebody in the comments, one of these videos last week said, "You're 5 feet tall. You have like 5'8" energy." Because you're gonna feel it over the phone. I'm not saying a damn thing, but you can see my face looking at the receiver like, what the is this? So when he actually got confronted, you can't get that from the comments. You can't get that even from the DMs. Do you know what I'm saying? That's a phone call kind of thing. So you had all this attitude on the internet, and then you called me and you got slapped through the phone with all of this African American attitude and was shook. Shooketh. Shooketh. By the end of the very brief conversation was basically like, "Oh, my apologies for." Okay. Stockpiling audacity. Yeah, absolutely. I was like, I know you lying. Get off my phone. Do not play it. You're going to call my place of business. Not once did I use the name of that country. I don't think I've mentioned it at all in anything I've said or posted. So, how you would think I would be anti that country when I've not even mentioned it is ridiculous. And that's the part of what is happening that is scary. The actual violence is horrifying on its face, horrifying. But the idea that you cannot speak out against the people doing it without being called racists or other things, um, that is really scary because that is the type of weird mental manipulation that like really scary regimes have been able to do with people. So yes, June, I am feeling better. Thank you. I've been having lots of tea. Today I'm drinking Basic Bish, which is not exactly a tummy tea. It's my like daily nourishment tea. It's got nettle in it to make sure you're getting lots of vitamins and minerals, and lemon balm to calm your nervous system, and mint, peppermint, and spearmint. But it just so happens that the mints in particular, the lemon balm too, but the mints in particular are really great for like your digestion and your stomach and relieving gas and bloating and all that good stuff. So I reached for my Basic Bish today. Yeah. Yeah, it's been going around. Yeah, I've been taking my fighter cider too. I've been on top of it, which is really good. I feel very healthy immune system wise. What happened to me? June is one of the Better Witches, y'all, in the coaching program. And I had to postpone class this week because I was just so sick to my stomach. But it wasn't because I caught anything. I think I just had some bad Chinese, which is like, sounds like out of a movie, but that's literally what happened. It was fine the first day. I left it in the fridge for my leftovers. I had it the next day. Not so good. I don't know what happened. So don't know what happened there, but yeah, I've been doing my basic bish and I've been feeling a lot better. Okay. So yeah, that phone call was weird, but I was like, okay, I'm just going to keep it pushing. I like how I conducted myself. I think I had the right amount of attitude without telling the person off or getting loud or crazy or anything like that. And basically just had a tone of like, are you dumb? Because that's how I felt. So that worked out. So that was weird. Who misses BronxWitch Bodega? See my merch? Check it out. Yeah. Okay. So for those of you who are OGs in the house and have been here for a while, then you know that all of this started from BronxWitch Bodega, right? My product line of medicinal teas, smoke blends, yoni steams, magic spell soaps, and other things that I was creating. And that grew into BronxWitch HQ when we moved out of the apartment and into the shop. And when I moved into the shop, I decided to kind of minimize the bodega name because I felt like headquarters was more appropriate for the space because it's retail, but it's also a work share space. And we have so much happening in one place. Um, but I realized that BronxWitch Bodega is like my first love. The logo I'm obsessed with. It's my everything. And um, the products that we make in the shop are really good, and I want to feature them more. My original focus with the shop was really focusing other witches, that wanted to get their stuff in a shop. And now that we've done that and we have a nice handful of other witches whose stuff we sell, I want to go back to making all of my teas and my smoke blends and, my soaps and all of that. Again, I really loved that. And I'm blessed that the shop is getting to a place where I can focus on that again. So BronxWitch Bodega product line is back in effect. Okay. So all of my teas and smoke blends and soaps that have been sold out on the shop for so long are going to get restocked. My plan is to restock everything before the end of the year, starting with cold potion and detox potion, because I have 2 big batches of those that are ready to be bottled this week. Cold potion's going first. Cold potion's going to get bottled this week, and then detox potion will be ready in a couple of weeks. But both of them should ship out before Christmas. So if you celebrate Christmas, this is a gift to yourself, New Year's gift or what have you, you'll be able to do that. So we're bringing BronxWitch Bodega back. I made the logo available on our merch. So if you want to show a little support for the bodega, bring the bodega home with you. You can now get merch with the original bodega logo, which I love so much. And I don't know if you guys can see. Yeah, you probably can. So this is our signature lotus, our like plant ally for all things BronxWitch is the lotus, the blue lotus specifically. But we are right by Yankee Stadium. Shout out to the Yankees. We're from the Bronx all day. And so there's like little pennant flags in a circle referencing a stadium. And then hopefully you can just see on the petals are little squares that are meant to make the petals look like buildings, the little squares of light. And then in the background, that fire escape is actually a fire escape that I can see from my bedroom window. So it's my view of the Bronx. So this is our very first official logo. This was after the BronxWitch logo of me holding the flower, the lotus. Love this logo. It's coming back full effect. All my products coming back to the shop, and all under the BronxWitch Bodega name. And you can now get the logo on merch. Hey. Okay. Yes, definitely stock up for the shop. We're going to be doing, we did a Black Friday sale for the weekend. Cyber Monday is tomorrow. So if you want to take any of our virtual classes, or for those of you who are not yet Coven Community Witches, membership is 15% off with the code WebWitch. So that's going on tomorrow. And then I think we're going to do a sale throughout the month of December because, I'm a filthy pagan. So I don't celebrate Christmas or New Year's. Like, they're not my thing. So December for me is all about the solstice. But that can be a little confusing for people. So we'll probably just do a sale like through December. We are closed for 1 week in December. We're closed for 1 week in June and 1 week in December every year to give everybody a break. And we'll be closed from the 20th to the 26th in December. So if you want to get your holiday stuff in before the holidays, I think the last day for guaranteed shipping is like December 12th or something like that. So keep that in mind. Hey, Mariah. I love that. A fire would be nice. I brought me like a shawl just in case I get cold. Yes. What's everybody sipping on? What herbs are we enjoying, folks? Yes, June, we'd love to have you at the next WOC meeting. I would share what we talked about, but what happens at the WOC stays at the WOC. And if you're wondering what the WOC is, that is the Witches of Color support group that I run in the Coven community. We meet every month, and it is for BIPOC witches only. So witches of color, Black and Indigenous witches, brown witches, to come together and talk about some of the unique challenges that we face as people of color in the pagan community, in our own communities. And it's a really healing group that I'm super grateful for. This last meeting was very much needed, getting ready for the whole holiday hoopla. Some of us not celebrating Thanksgiving, not celebrating Christmas, having to have those conversations with our families. It's good to have other witches who can relate and are going through similar things. I feel you, Smokey. I feel very similar. I don't celebrate Christmas, but I do love the winter holiday vibes. Who doesn't love like a beautiful field of trees with white sparkly lights and like fluffy boots and, ice skating and hot chocolate? I love the winter holiday vibe, the holiday songs, and stuff like that. But honestly, my family takes Christmas pretty seriously. It's a big production. And yeah, I some of my family members are really happy to pull on my energy and take advantage of the fact that when I'm around, things get well organized or, what have you, without pouring anything back into me. And so I'm just, some of my aversion to Christmas has to do with spending time with family members that have not been supportive. So feeling like I don't consider myself a spiteful person, but I am getting better at understanding that I can't pour into people that are not going to reciprocate that. Or not that I can't, but like Why should I? Just because somebody happens to be born of a same cousin or something or other, you know. Hi. Hey, you're here. Thank you for speaking up and sharing that. I appreciate you. I'm glad that that conversation was clarifying, um, and that you were open to receive it. I feel like that was genuine when you said that. When you said that you better understood. So I'm glad that you were open to hear it. Um, but yeah, I did also think it was um, kind of expressive of something that I really do think is a problem. And I am prayerful that you receive this too, you know, because I don't think that it is okay for anybody to be able to go through life doing whatever they want without being criticized, and that somehow criticizing them means that you're anti them, that you want to see them harmed, that you want bad things to happen to them. That is not okay for me, because personal responsibility, taking accountability, these are things that I'm really big on. And I may be a little different from some people, but for whatever reason, accountability and responsibility are really big. And if you do something, you need to be able to stand on what you've done and take criticism for people um, about it. And it's not okay to say, oh my goodness, well, because you're criticizing me now, this means you hate me or you're anti me. uh, that shouldn't be how individuals navigate. It shouldn't be how countries navigate. We can't have any type of civility and humanity towards each other if that's how we operate. You know, especially when real shit is going down. You know, real shit is going down. Racism against Jewish people is real. That really happens. There are people out here who really do not like Jewish people and would want to see them harmed. That's terrible. And that needs to be focused on and rooted out. And other people who are critiquing perhaps how that group of people is running their government or whatever has nothing to do with the other thing. Um, so yeah, so thank you for saying that. I appreciate you connecting the dots and letting me know that you're here, and for calling. You know, I understand where it comes from. So I hope you understand my thoughts on that. But let's see what we're having. Betty's having CBG and THC gummies. I am all out of gummies, I think. Or I have one last CBD gummy, but I'm pretty much out. I was really enjoying them. Might have to re up. I missed a whole bunch. We've been having a whole conversation about our herbals. I'm over here talking politics. You guys are having a good conversation. CBN, CBD, all the letters. All the letters. Well, in today's magic topic, I think I got through all the questions, by the way. Hold on, let me go back to the question box. Okay, yeah. I said, but just put the questions in the comments, because the question box, it's a good place to organize it, but for whatever reason, it doesn't let me put them up on the screen. So forget the question box, just drop your questions in the comments if you have any. But today, I wanted to share with you guys some spell work. I wanted to share some successful spell work because I think that's what this community is all about. Hashtag witches helping witches, right? This space is so perfect for me because I was thinking the other day, like, I don't know how to gatekeep. This is why I would never be selected to be like a gatekeeping like elder of a community. I think people will be like, she talks too much. Like she could never be the keeper of the secrets. Not me. I talk too much. When I like something, I tell people even when they don't ask. So I'm that person. Everybody knows somebody like me. I'm that person who, like, if you're like, oh, I like your shirt, I'm gonna be like, I got it for $4.99 at such and such. Like, let me tell you where, like, I'm that person. You didn't ask where I got it. You didn't ask if I got it on sale. None of these things happen, but I have to let you know. So I'm just not good at keeping secrets. Some people are good. You know, I used to know a chick that was really good like that. You'd be like, oh my God, I love your thing. And she would just go, thank you. And then there'd be this silence, you know? And I'd be like, where'd you get it, bitch? Hello? Let me know. But she was very like, no, I'm not gonna let you know how I'm so fly. Like, she's a model. You know, she got that shit. Not me, girl. I can't hold water either, Key. Yes, me too. I can't hold water, child. Absolutely. If I know, everybody's gonna know. If it's on sale, I'm telling. Okay. Don't let me get something for a deal. And oh my gosh. Yeah. I'm bad like that. I try to be cool. I try to keep it cool. You know what I'm saying? I try to be like, oh my God, thank you. But then it just starts to eat away at me. And I'm like, yeah, so listen, I got a 2 for $5. I have to let you know. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not good with the gatekeeping and stuff. So I think I'd make a good brand ambassador. You know what I'm saying? Because the things I like, I like the Hulking bag, my Dagny Dover. I legitimately like these things. Okay. So y'all hit up the referral links and get them. I legit love them. What are we doing? We're still talking about the cannabis? Okay. I am partaking of whatever YouTube says I'm allowed to partake of. So, spells. Let's talk about spells. Let's talk about spells, baby. Okay. I wanted to share some workings that worked well for me. We have this full moon in Gemini happening this evening. At some point, I forget the time, and I think it's late tonight. And that moon energy to me is very much about like having a conversation with yourself. Gemini is the twin, but it's the internal twin for me. You know, when that energy comes up in cards, sometimes it can be about like pairings and relationships and stuff, but it's very telling to me how in that card, in most depictions, the characters are going to be facing each other, you know, and they're parallels of each other. So I always think of it as, you know, we think of Gemini as being outwardly expressive, always wanting to talk with people, always wanting to have somebody around, always wanting to socialize. But I often think about the more introspective energy of like conversation with yourself. And I feel like this time of the year, at least for me, is very much like a big tower moment. 4:15 a.m. Pon the moon. That's probably moon on 100. 4:15 a.m. Yes, I knew it was something late. So for me, it's a big tower moment. I think some of you guys know that I'm getting divorced. Um, so after 11 years of marriage, like 16 together, a long time. So it's a huge tower moment for me. Like everything is changing. And then HQ as well. There's something like really big happening with that and a shift. But it's meant that I've had to downsize like significantly and really kind of start over, start at the drawing board. And it's very interesting because in some ways it feels like starting over, but in other ways it's not, because you're starting over wiser and smarter than you did the first time you did it. So you're starting over with some of the same resources or titles or what have you. Um, but you're doing it completely different this time. You're getting started completely different from a completely different place. So that's the energy around it. And I have had some spells pop off that have been helping me with that. And I figured I would share the information. Okay. Pandamoon is the message of this full moon. Yes. Is that what you were saying? Okay. 4:15 a.m. Pandamoon, 100% is what's going on. All right. And I get that. You know what I mean? It's like it's your masculine and your feminine pond each other, is the Gemini conversation. They have to meet, discuss, inner introspection. Okay. Yes. On the moon for sure. Okay. So we're going to the Book of Shadows. Da-da-da. To get these. I'm excited for the magical journaling module for my better witches who are in the room. Because when I freaking cracked the code on magical journaling, life. That is what the Better Witch program is. It's like the 10 like mind blown moments that I had that really helped me. And the mind blown moment about journaling that really helped me was figuring out how to actually keep track of what I was doing so that it was useful as a record to go back to if I wanted to do the same spells or, learn, change, grow, whatever, but also be something that like was real, and in the moment. And I figured out a system. It's so great. A book of mirrors, a book of shadows. It's fantastic. And when you get to the book of shadows part, what I put in mine are the steps that actually happened as opposed to like theory. And it's great because then I can go back to it and I can tweak it. And every time I do something, it's always a little bit different. I never like follow things exactly, but you have a nice foundation that you can work with. So the first, and it's so funny because somebody came into the shop today. She got these things yesterday. She came back. She got more stuff. But she got an evil eye bracelet, and I gave her I didn't give her, she bought, but I told her that it would be a good idea to also get The Evil Eye by Antonio Pagliarulo that came out this year. And he has 2 workings in there for getting rid of the evil eye. And I felt really strongly that like they needed to be combined. Now, disclaimer. Antonio is of Italian American descent. His family, literally, it was so cute. His mom and his auntie came to the book signing. He had a book signing at HQ, if you didn't know, for this book. And his mom and auntie came and they were on some old school witch shit. And this lady, his mom, long white hair down to here, Italian lady. And she's sitting here talking about how they would diagnose the evil eye back in the day with olive oil and da 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 da. Oh, we're getting this old school, folk magic. So let me be perfectly clear. This man is an expert. He knows what he is doing, and I do not. Okay? I am in no way an expert of any kind when it comes to the evil eye at all. Follow your own intuition. But I just felt very called to basically combine two of the workings in there for like lifting or removing the evil eye into one. Okay. And I found it to be very, very successful. I feel like when you are feeling the effects of the evil eye from somebody that you are living with, working with, someone that you have to spend a lot of time with and space with, and you don't necessarily have the option of like changing that can be really difficult. And I found this effective in that circumstance. So that's why I think this is a good one to have. Okay. Oh, thank you, Smokey. Yes, I received that. Tupac is the tarot. I love that. That's what you got yesterday. Thank you. Yes. I absolutely received that. And that's a perfect um, representation of what it's like doing what I'm doing in the Bronx. Okay. He's the tower. Yeah, no, I got it. Yeah, I knew what you meant. Yes, I love that. Tupac is this. I'm gonna have to put some of that on. Listen to some Tupac later. Okay, so y'all ready for the evil eye removal spell? I am going to write this out in the Coven community for you guys in the general discussion. Okay, but for those of you who are not, just write fast, pause this. Okay, so I took a glass of water. The water that I used was rainwater from a particular moon cycle. So the water that you feel called to use, you use. But however, whenever you're doing work, the more layers of energy you can add into it, the more of the energies you can get in alignment with what it is you are calling in, the better. So you have your water, 18 cloves, an evil eye talisman of some kind, an evil eye oil you can purchase or make and find recipes online or in his book. Um, a blue chime candle, and the Bible. So wrap your head around that. All right. So first, lighting the candle and anointing the talisman with your evil eye oil, you're going to pray over that. Bless the talisman. You're going to press the talisman to your head 3 times and say, Spirit to blood, stone to sky, the angel's sword is raised on high. Circle and shield from day to night, I stand protected in God's sight. You're going to take the candle and pass it around your head 3 times. Okay. Then you are going to go to your Bible and you are going to read a passage that is appropriate. I think I read, and this is in the book, Numbers 24 to 26, I think is what he recommended. Okay. And this is all coming from The Evil Eye by Antonio Pagliarulo. This is just combining 2 of the workings in there. All right, so after anointing and blessing the talisman, calling that energy in for myself, blessing myself with the candle, then I'm moving on to the cloves, which I'm adding to the water. And you could probably pray over all of them like all at once, but it felt appropriate for me just because of like what I was releasing to pray over each of the 18 and say something different. But you could probably also just pray over all 18 and then add them to your water, releasing the evil eye All right. And then you're going to let the candle burn out completely. The working in the book said to let it burn out for exactly 18 minutes and then snuff the candle out. That didn't resonate for me. I felt like that would be great for evil eye coming from outside of your home. But if you are living with that energy and you suspect that it's coming from people that you're living with or people that you spend a lot of close time with, I just felt like the candle had to burn all the way out. Like it just had to go all the way out. That was me. Okay, that was me. So I let it burn out completely. All right. And then I started wearing the talisman daily, especially when I knew I was going to be around that person. The clove water I left on the altar overnight, and then I took it out to the crossroads to dispose of it. Okay. Evil eye removal spell. All right. I shared this with you because, like I said, I feel like this is a tower moment in our lives for a lot of us. Like that's just the energy of right now. And I know that's what's going on for me. And you want to rebuild with the best possible environment, and you want to get rid of those who say they support you or um, you know, kind of play that part but that don't really, you know. um, yeah, so I think an evil eye removal is a good idea if you feel like you are dealing with that, so that you can go into like this hibernation time of the season, ready to rebuild, perhaps with better people, more supportive people around you, or hell, just yourself. Cause you can do bad all by yourself. You know what I mean? You don't need the help of people who actually are envious of your success or, you know, your healing, whatever it is that's going on. Okay. Oh, nice. Yes. We're co creating, co magicking, co magicking. Not in this economy. I know, right? There's see, look, this is, here I go again. I told you I am a leaky fucking faucet. I am a leaky faucet. I have no secrets. I don't know how to be cool and coy at all. I have to tell you everything that I know. Okay. If you want to save some money on candle burning, these people should sponsor me. Okay. I don't know if they do they do tagging on YouTube? If so, tag them. Get it to them. Let them know. Okay. Have y'all heard of lucid candles? I crack myself up because I really act like I work for these people because I am always plugging them. Thank you, Betty. I love you. I appreciate you so much. That's really sweet. Thank you for the support. Thank you. Yes, that moment was a manifestation. That next 10 is gonna come from Lucid Candle because Lucid Candle, I be telling everybody about you guys. Okay, so Lucid Candle, you guys, if you want to save some money, this is a fabulous investment. They are pricey, I'm gonna tell you right now. They're pricier than you would be like, what, on a candle? But hear me out. Here's why it is worth it. They are made out of like some type of weird hard plastic that doesn't melt somehow, doesn't burn or anything like that. And they burn with the principle of an oil lamp. So the inside has a wick that you pour their liquid, their flammable liquid, whatever it is, inside. and you put the top back on, and then you just light the top, and you have a real flame, but a plastic candle. It stays completely cool to the touch, so you can walk around and move them around really, really easily. And you get pretty good burn time from the liquid bottle. Like the full size bottle gives you like 100 hours in the big candles or whatever. But anyway, if you have an altar or an altar space, or just like ambiance in your anywhere where you want to have a candle lit all the time, and it doesn't have to be like it's on a spell, it doesn't have to be like, fixed and dressed in herbs and carved with sigils and stuff. It's more for just like lighting or ambiance, or maybe like just to honor. Like maybe you want to have a candle lit like most of the time or all of the time to honor an ancestor or something like that. And it's not a spell working, but you want it to be a real flame. These are amazing. These are freaking amazing. This one has a snake on it. Yes. But I have like 8 or 10 of them around the house. I use a couple on my working altar as just my like illumination, God, goddess, left, right, yin yang, whatever, balancing candles. And I just light those right at the start, and I can use that to light anything else that I need for the rest of whatever I'm doing. I have some like on my coffee table. It's more like decor. Yeah, so they're very versatile. And then you can get these stone circle tabby things that you put around the wick, and you put essential oil on that. So if you want it to be like aromatized with a scent, you can do that. I don't bother with the scents, but they have the little scent stone. You can put your little essential oil on. So anyway, Lucid Candle. Tell Lucid Candle that I be telling people about them, okay? And they should like hire me, all right? Because they have an untapped market in the witching world. They pretty much do like weddings, they kind of cater to more of like that vibe. Like, oh, you have an event, you want candlelight for like 8 hours, get our thing. But they need to promote to the witchy community, because for all the candles that we go through, I love them. You got a spam a lucid candle request? That is so crazy to me. The scammers are weird. Like my shop has scam pages. I get scams from like stores, like scam stores. So they're just scamming anything now. Like it used to be like, oh, if you were a tarot reader or whatever. No, it's anything. You could be the 99-cent store. They're gonna make a spam 99-cent store page. Isn't that crazy? I don't know if you can put herbs safely in it. I haven't, because I use them more for like for the flame and other stuff like that. Um, Funny you would ask that. I actually have flowers and oil in one of them right now. So it is kind of weird actually that you would ask that. We'll see. We'll find out. I'm in the process of finding out. I'll let you know. Yeah, it's weird. Scammers are doing it all. Bizarro. Okay. um, I feel like there was one other, yes, working. Okay. This one, I haven't written down the details in here. It's in my other journal, which is how it should be. Like the full details. And then when it's like completely concrete, or like I've done it a couple of times, then it'll go in the Book of Shadows. But a banishment, getting someone out of your space is the other thing. So removing the effects of those who may have been draining your energy, not really being fully supportive or wanting to see you thrive. That is something that would be really helpful when you're having a tower moment and you're rebuilding. But you also might need to get people like out of your space. And I worked a little spell that was pretty fun, very effective. And it's a tarot spell, which I like to do. So if you've never sacrificed a deck to spell craft, it's going down now if you do this one, okay? And I think just make your peace with it, okay? You can get yourself a cheap deck. Like we have like used decks. Some of them are like $5, but they're in like great condition. Get yourself a cheap deck to do this. But I recommend that you sacrifice a deck for spell work and just keep it like in a box. Have a magic box that you like put things that you don't necessarily know what you're going to do with yet, but that are magical in some way to the side. If you don't have a witchy box, create a witchy box. It's a good idea. Put this in your witchy box. Just a deck of cards that you can use for like spell work and making mojo bags and other little sachets and things from them. It's a great idea. Okay. So you're going to take 3. And I did this on, I think the actual day that I cast, it was either a Thursday or a Saturday. Thursday or a Saturday. Thursday, Jupiter expansion, Saturday restriction. I can't quite recall. So, go with where you're led. But I feel like it was a Thursday or a Saturday. But take 3 tarot cards that represent the journey, like emotionally, that you want the person to go on as they leave. So let's say this is a coworker that you like really need to get out of your job, like they're harming you for some reason or whatever. You're going to get 3 cards that kind of represent the journey that they go through. Maybe, the 3 of Hearts because they like lose the position that they have there or something, and the 10 of Swords because it's over, and like, death or whatever, it's the end, whatever, however you feel, but like whatever trajectory you want them to go on, as they exit out. You're going to illustrate that with the 3 cards and line the 3 cards up. You can bless the cards as well. You can dress the cards. You can draw sigils on the cards, whatever feels right for you. I think I probably on my plate probably had like a sigil with like arrows going in the direction I wanted them to go to as well, something like that. So you can, add your flavor on it in that regard. And then take a petition, a figure candle that would represent that person. And we got these figure candles in the shop that are super dope. This is not a plug for the shop, but I mean, also it's a plug for the shop because don't nobody got these candles, yo. You guys know I love Mystical Misty's candles, okay? She has loadable candles that are so cool. Loadable skulls, loadable cord cutting candles, like all of these cool loadable candles. And she figured out how to cut the daggone figure candle in half and make a hole in the middle. So you can actually lift off the head and shoulders and put a petition paper, herbs, personal effects, whatever, into the candle and put the little top of the little person back on and light it, and all of that, instead of being on the outside, is on the inside. So genius. I love the way she makes her things. Anyway, so I happen to use one of these because we had them, but a regular figure candle will work as well. You can just dress it and all of that good stuff, but if you can get one of those, super cool. And you're going to face the figure in the direction of the cards, like that, like they're going to walk that story that you just created beneath them. And you're going to start the candle on top of that one card, and then dress the candle in hot foot powder or hot foot herbs. If you don't know what that is, look it up. Easy recipe to find. But get yourself a hot foot powder recipe and dress that candle with that. You might circle just the feet with it. Let yourself be guided with that, but make a hot foot powder blend to dress that candle or put inside the candle if you get the one with the hole. And every night for 3 nights, you're going to move that candle and you're going to work that candle. First night, let it burn down about a third of the way, move it to the next, throw everything out when it is all done. Super effective. I really like using tarot cards and magic. It's like a great way to tell a story to the universe very clearly, like, this is what I'm trying to see go down. I think I also included one of Misty's hot foot candles, which is like a little foot. It's a little foot candle dressed in the hot foot powder as well. I think I let that burn with that as well. But either way, moving the candle over the 3 nights. And yeah, it was very, very effective. Now, I feel like I'm a spiritual type of witch, which not every witch is. But I am the type to seek guidance and assistance and authority, maybe, from spirit when I do things. And so in this particular case, I called on a saint that is, special to me, but that also whose own story paralleled being able to turn somebody's mind around and lead them away calmly, let them leave the space, but kind of their own will. So that was really effective for me. So I think calling on a spirit also would be helpful with this one. So, yep. Put that in your notes, y'all, and give it a try if you are in the need of getting somebody up out of your space. 3-night tarot candle spell. I love that. Yeah. Yeah, I find that sometimes when you do workings like this, it has kind of like a ripple. Actually, everything has like a ripple effect. This is an analogy that I use sometimes, but when people talk about having repercussions or consequences from spell work, and they're worried about oh, is something going to backfire on me? Is this going to harm me in this way, that way, etc.? The way I describe what's happening is, imagine you are standing on the shore of a pond, right? And you have some stones and you have a small stone, and you take that small stone and you skip it across the water or whatever. It's going to bounce, do its thing. It's going to land somewhere, and it's going to make boop, a small little boop, boop, and then it's going to boop, boop, and it's going to just ripple out a little bit, right? Hopefully from science. If you don't know, I'm here to tell you that that ripple is going to continue on all the way to the very, very edge of the pond. You may not see it because it wasn't a very big bloop bloop to begin with. But it continues all the way to the very end. It's just like the tiniest shift in the whole entire pond has occurred because of this one little pebble, right? But then you go and you get a big old stone. And now when you throw this, it might be like skip, skip, and then like boom, and then huge wave. Everything splashes. There's a bunch of mud that's kicked up because a pond is not very deep or whatever. And if you're standing on the edge of this pond when you throw this big heavy stone, you are probably going to get something on you. Might you get something on you with the little stone? Maybe a little something or whatever. But the bigger the stone you throw, the more you are displacing, the more you are kicking up, and the more likely that you're going to get some of this energy that isn't so great back at you. And so, to me, having a divination practice, having spirit guides and ancestors that you can identify and have relationships with and go to before you cast spells, which is the equivalent of throwing rocks and shifting energy, is a good idea. Because what they can do is they can tell you where you need to stand so that when shit splashes back, you're standing over there. Okay, that's what they do because they can see that kind of thing. We cannot, but they are in the energy world fully, and so they can see how the ripples are gonna ripple when you do that, and they can tell you, no, 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 don't do that. And then it's up to us to listen. But that's where having those relationships really pays off because yeah, you are displacing energy, and when you're like the more you're doing, when you're doing something like a banishment, you're moving more, and so you will often see other things in your life also shift. So yeah, don't be surprised if you banish one person and then like two or three fall off. And you're like, oh no, not you too. But yeah. Wait. Hold on. What's this now? If you need a boost to a banishing, take a vinyl glove and take some cigarette butts off the street. Oh. You know what's really interesting about that, my dear? You are very much, I feel, tapping into the energy of your place, the genus loci, the spirit of your place. Because I do shit like that too. For me, it's not cigarette butts though. It is black glass, broken car window glass. Okay. But not the green kind that happens from like everybody's windows. The black kind that comes from like when a bus gets its windows blown out or like a cop car or something. It's like that black glass. That for some reason, let me tell you something. I be looking crazy. I try not to be seen, but when I see that in the streets, I get it, and I use it in banishing work and stuff like that too. You know, I feel like the same thing is happening, where it's like in your area, there's something that represents like the like grimy element of where you live, and so infusing that into the work is a great way to get somebody going because it's like, oh no, I don't want to be around that. And for you, it's the cigarette butts. I feel like for me, it's the black glass. It's like, yeah, we busting car windows out here. We busting bus windows. Okay, this isn't even a car window. All right? You really trying to stay around here? I don't think so. You want to go. You want to go. Okay. I have held you guys. I have held you witches for a while. If you are wondering where these conversations take place, they happen in the Coven community. I'm going to type up the two workings and post those for you guys so that you can have easy access. So if you want to join our virtual coven, you can do that. Okay. I would take advantage of Cyber Monday and do it tomorrow and use the code WebWitch because you get 15% off of everything. All of our virtual classes, the digital downloads, ones that aren't free, and Coven membership, which is just $9.99 a month. And you get 7 free days when you sign up. But if you use WebWitch, you'll get 15% off of that. So you should join us over there. Okay. Especially if you want those spells written out. That's where I'm going to put them. Yeah. Yes. Garlic and onion skins, definitely a go-to. I like the garlic personally. Go be with your kind. Wow, this is intense. Okay. I like your spin though. Yeah, I feel like I want to work with mirrors more. I feel like I don't take advantage of the potential that they possess. I kind of sleep on mirrors and mirror work. I should do that a little bit more. Especially because they say, your phone is a black mirror. So, what are we looking at, really, when we're doom scrolling and whatnot? What are we looking at? I know. I didn't know that. June, I did not know really about like the crossroads and mirrors, and it was one of my spirit guides that taught me that like made that connection. I was like, oh, okay. But so I get how they use it. I just haven't found a use for me, I guess, is what I'm saying. That makes sense. Because yeah, they showed me why they needed one and what they use it for, how they use it. But I'm probably not tapping into some possibilities with that. Yeah, right? This is why we do this. Hashtag witches helping witches. This is what we're here for. This is how we grow. We share information with each other. I do like I like dressing mirrors. I do like dressing mirrors. So I should use them more frequently. Yes. Yes. No, and I did. And not only is it gorgeous, like I said, I think I said in my feedback, not only is it gorgeous, but it just captures the vibe so intensely to have everything reflected like that. It's like it goes on forever, which is totally the vibe, right? With a money altar, you want everything to be like multiplied and expanded. And it's like genius how the how the mirror like pulls that off. Yes. Hello, music on. Oh my gosh, you guys. I showed you my water bottle, right, with BronxWitch Bodega, but did you see the shorts? Hold on. Let's see. Can we see the shorts? Aren't those cute? Aren't these nice joggers? Hold on, some views here. Aren't these nice? Look at that on the waist. Isn't that a good? I like a good waistband. You know what I'm saying? Secure. Our merch is so cute. They're so comfy. They are so comfy. They're like a really nice. I like sweats that are thick. Um, like you know the sweatpants you wear when you're a kid. Like they're not for being cute. Like they're supposed to like keep you warm. I like that type of sweatpant material because it's like give me sweatpants. Like let's not try to be cute out here. You know what I'm saying? Just give me fluffy warm pant. That's what I'm here for. Fluffy warm pant. So I love that about these. They're full on jogger comfiness. Yes, the waistband is very forgiving. It's very forgiving. It's very wide. It's super wide, which is nice. Yeah, they knew what they were doing. It'll be comfortable and flattering no matter your body type. Basically, with this cut, they're not super short, so they're not riding up all weird. They have like a nice length on them, so they're not booty shorts. Yeah, I like them a lot. They're super super comfy. You can get them in the merch shop and get the new logo. Get the BronxWitch Bodega logo. I'm gonna start putting that on everything. Check that out. I was gonna get the hoodie too because you can make this a set with the crop top hoodie. I was gonna do the crop top hoodie or the sweatshirt, but instead I went with a long sleeve T-shirt because I was like I can't get everything sweatshirt material. You know what I mean? I need something a little bit lighter for like just wearing around. Oh, yes, yes. Please share. Please share. Because I definitely want to work with mirrors more. And somebody asked about cleansing, I think. I like that. Rose water and Windex. Yeah, I do the same thing. I clean and then cleanse. So I would clean the mirror with like a glass cleaner and then cleanse it with Florida water or something like that. Yes, get a shirt. I really like all the merch. I'm big into the sweatsuit stuff, but I was like, hello, get some t-shirts. So I got a long sleeve tee because it's about to be winter. So, and I got a beanie, a little beanie cap. Yeah. All right. Okay. So, I think that's everything for high tea. I showed you the spells, coven witches. I'm going to post the written out version of them today or tomorrow. So keep an eye on the feed for that book club. We meet tomorrow discussing A Walk Through the Forest of Souls. Rachel Pollack, rest in peace. Oh yeah, I wanted to tell you guys about my liberations and explorations that I've been pursuing lately. So um, I have always wanted to do a more intimate look at my life and my practice, because I do a lot of things that um, involve being sky clad, which is a witchy talk for nude, a lot of rituals, baths like the ones I'll be doing tomorrow, and things like that. And I obviously cannot do that on any of these platforms in that way. So I've decided to explore what OnlyFans has to offer in terms of being a space to share those things. And I'm excited about it. I've just been playing around on the site because I do not know how it works. So I am learning how it works. But it's pretty much like any other social media platform, it appears. But I've been exploring that area there. And I was like, man, I really like this space. I think this is going to be a fun way for me to share things that I've wanted to, um, in a space that feels like appropriate for that. But yeah, I'm into it. I'm into it. So, um, I have an idea for tarot readings that I want to explore on that platform, because I do miss doing our tarot readings that were like um, the collective lives and different things like that. And I feel like ever since HQ became what it has become, and now the retail store is something that's really growing. I don't get to do readings as much as I would like to, and I really miss it. And I was like, I feel like this is a way for me to get back to doing tarot readings, but also explore some of the more fun aspects of like just exploring myself. So I think I'm going to do some tarot readings there, um, that are a little bit more intimate. So, and I think it's going to be fun. I've literally never have seen an OnlyFans live. So I don't even know how they like typically go. I just have an idea in my mind of what I want to do, and I know that I can't do it on YouTube. So I'm just like, yeah, I have this idea. Can I actually do it? I don't actually really know. I'll be honest, but I think I can. I'm assuming that I can. What I did find out is that you have to have like a certain amount of followers in order to be able to go live. And I don't have enough yet. I only have 4 fans. So you guys have to go be my fans over there for me, please. It's free. My page is free. It's free to subscribe to me. But I want to go live there and do tarot readings, but with a little bit of a different twist. And I was thinking, I was like, oh, I also can use this space to just share other parts of my practice, that I just can't share here. So whether that be behind the scenes of spiritual baths, of rituals that I perform skyclad, of yoga, the different tantric and kundalini style yogas and different things like that. Um, but yeah, I feel like uh, it would be good for me to have that type of an outlet, that type of a space for myself. So I'm exploring it. So anyway, yeah, for the daffodil, yes, I love that. Yeah, I need you guys to get me up to whatever number it is I need to go live over there. I think they said 5. I think you just have to have like 5 fans. So I just need like one more. So please be my one more. And I love also that you will be one of my gay fans. I love that very much, because I was actually talking to Alexis and I was saying that I wish there was a way that I could filter all of the um, results, like all the people, to be queer. Like, I kind of don't want straight guys, but that's not the point of the page. Is really honestly to stay focused on like what I want to share of my practice and of like tarot. And I want to do like, I'm going to be doing actual tarot readings. So someone requests a reading from me. It is an actual tarot reading. It's just going to be tarot reading in a different style, a different fashion, a different vibe. So it doesn't matter. But at the same time, I like, you know, I feel very comfortable in queer spaces, is what I will say. That makes me feel good. I prefer queer spaces. So I wish that I could like actually just have queer folk following me over there. It would make me feel better. But it's okay. And I'm not afraid to block anybody. So we will not have any foolishness. But if you would like to get a tarot reading and perhaps also get like some tetas on the side, tune in, subscribe. I'm Topless Tarot Witch. Yes. I am Topless Tarot Witch. It wasn't taken. Can you believe that? Isn't that wild? No. It's Topless Tarot Witch. Let me see. Can I post myself? Oh, sweet. Yes. No, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking the same thing because I have a way about me that's like, um, it's really fun and kind of easy for me. It's just that I don't get to do it. So that's why I want to like explore it more. I just haven't had the opportunity to do it. But being in like, being able to be like nude and not sexualizing it is something that I'm very good at. I just don't get to do very often. And I think that's something that's harder for straight men to do. And I think that it can be very healing to get the opportunity to do that. So that's kind of like my plan. Yeah. Thank you, baby. I love you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for the support of that because I know what that energy is going towards, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So thank you for putting the vibes into it. But yeah, I feel the same way. Like I feel like as much as I like to explore things that are more sensual, they don't necessarily come from that place. It's all a part of like living life a little bit more in tune with like all the parts of yourself. And I can't help but like force it on other people. I really can't. I'm terrible. So I feel like you're gonna find my page for like one thing, but you're gonna get something else. You're gonna get something else. And I'm sorry, but it's gonna be like a spiritual catfish, you know? Like you think you're getting one thing, and then the next thing you know, we're crying about your mom, and like we're going there, you know? So like I'm doing the work, you know, is how I feel about it. And that's what I'm thinking is going to happen. But I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. You already know. I appreciate you. Yeah. So I can't go live on there yet. So I've just posted like a couple pictures just to like get the page started because I'm like, come on, I came here to go live. But that's me not knowing anything about the platform. So I didn't know that you have like these restrictions and that people have to follow you first, blah, 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 blah. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully they give me, the ability to do it first because like I love a picture. I love a picture. I love posting a video, but that wasn't really that wasn't what I envisioned. You know what I mean? I envisioned more of a live type of situation. So I need them to give me the okay to do it. So, yes, thank you in advance to everybody who subscribes for free to my OnlyFans so that they will let me go live. And yeah. Oh my God. Big facts. Big facts. That's why I do it. It is amazing. It's really amazing. I very much look forward to a day when I have like property so that I can do it outside. But even indoors, it's very powerful. And not sexual most of the time. You would think, but no, not at all. Quite the opposite. Yay! June led us in some impromptu magic working when we were at our staycation. Came out of nowhere. Oh, it was the last full moon. Hello, it was exactly one full moon cycle from today. Oh my goodness, beautiful. But yeah, we just freestyled this cologne under the full moon together. Everybody contributed ingredients, and yeah, it was a really beautiful process. Yay! Thank you, Daffodil. Thank you, my dear. I appreciate that very, very much. I really do. I do. It's it is important for me, I think, just coming from where I come from, to embrace like diversity in all forms and um I'm probably like way too optimistic and like, oh my God, perfect utopia of life, blah, 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 blah. But I really do believe that we all can get along. I really do believe that we can live in peace as people. I really do believe that. I believe that the biggest thing stopping us from that is seeing the humanity in each other. And I don't want to add to that. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, everything that we do ultimately comes from being scared and wanting love. And I think if we could just remember that about each other, we would understand why we are the way we are, So I embrace all of that love from Israel and send it right back to you guys. And thank you for buying my teas. I pray you enjoyed them. Yeah. I have been really glad in our explorations of the Bronx to find some places where I would probably like with folks take a chance. I wouldn't be all like by myself. But yeah, definitely being in more rural areas is really nice because I would love to do that. When I was in high school, I spent a semester in the mountains in Vermont. I went to a program called the Mountain School. And they take like 30 kids every semester, and you live and work on a farm while going to school. So you operate this farm that is where you get all your food and your milk and everything from. And then you go to school and you learn about agriculture and about the earth. And it's a really great, program. And the girls in my dorm, because whenever you put teenage girls together, they do witchy shit. It's just what we do. We had read a story or a book in English class called The Clan of the Two-Breasted Women, or the One-Breasted Women, The Clan of the One-Breasted Women. And it was a story, sadly, about one of these like towns out in like Arizona or wherever, where they would like test nuclear bombs, and there'd be radiation in the water and radiation in the air, and people would have these ridiculously high amounts of cancer or whatever. So this family was, lived in one of these areas, and like all the women in the family got breast cancer, and so all of them were having surgeries and ending up with one breast, and that's why it was called that or whatever. So we, on May 1st, because up in the mountains in Vermont, it's fucking snowing all the way into the spring. And everything came down as snow until May 1st. And May 1st, we finally reached a temperature warm enough for rain. And some of the snow had melted and it rained. And we go running out up until the highest hill of the campus called Garden Hill. And we take our tops off. And we go dancing around in circles on the top of this hill in the rain, calling ourselves the clan of the two-breasted women, because we all gratefully still had ours. Isn't that crazy? Teenage girls will always do some witchy shit. But anyway, all of that was just to say that, yes, being out in rural areas where you can actually get nudies and really connect is amazing. But I make it do in my apartment. It still gets the job done, and it makes a big difference. So if you've never practiced in Skyclad, I would definitely recommend it. Highly recommend. Ooh. I have not used spider webs in magic, but I definitely would. I use bugs whenever I can. Ants in the hot foot. This oil that I made has a centipede in it. You want to see? Let's see if it'll show up. Can I find it? Okay, I think it may have broken, but let me see. Where'd it go? Okay. Can you guys see that? Probably not. There's a centipede in here. He's gonna have to believe me. I feel like I had it on my phone at one point because you could see it. Where? Do you see that in there? Okay, I don't know. It's down there and it got its little spindly legs. But anyway. Okay, we're giving. Oh, hey, JB, what's going on? We were just talking about my OnlyFans. You missed some stuff. You missed some stuff. Oh my God, you just subscribed, Daffodil. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. I hope this gets me over the limit. They said 5, but that's what Google said. Google said if you have 5 active subscribers and you have at least 5 posts, you will get to be able to go live there. So we shall see, because you may have been my 5th. I remember that movie. Yeah, but centipedes are a symbol of wealth. They're attracted to moisture and water, so they will. If you see them, that means there's water around, life giving water. Yeah, I like, but I like the idea of working with the webs for sure. I don't think that I have specifically, but yeah, if you could actually gather up some web, which is not easy to do, but yeah, if you can gather up some web, that'd be cool. That would be cool. Well, this is the end of my road, you guys. This is it. As you guys know, I am not partaking of the cannabis on a regular basis anymore. I've gone back to not at all, or if at all, on the full moon only. So this is the end of it for at least 30 days for me. My next high tea live will definitely be available in the Coven community. I think YouTubers are able to hop on today, but I don't know if next month I'll make it available. We'll see. But you'll always have availability. You'll always be able to access it if you are in the Coven community. Yes. That energy is very heavy. For me, it's been the snakes that have been coming up. Oh, good night. Good night. Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys for sure. If you subscribe to the OnlyFans, that's huge. It touches my little heart that you would support my little kinky dreams. Yes, I agree. I agree. Yeah. For me, it's been a little bit of like a journey slash battle, because I've had to face some truths about myself. For me, it was that as much as I know that it is medicine, I was not using it medicinally. And I needed to admit that to myself, which was a little hard, because, I'm an herbalist. So I'm like, but it's medicine. It does all these great things for you. Da, 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 da. And it's like, yeah, but do you have any of these issues? Not really. So you don't need this as medicine. You're not using it that way. So I had to face that for myself and then adjust accordingly. I know. The first step is accepting the problem, right? So I had to first accept that and say, hey, you know what? I think that there's something going on here. And I need to reel it in, reevaluate. I love that. How random. Otters? That's not an everyday choice. They're so cute. They're the ones that put their babies on their belly, right? That shit is cute. I love that. All right. I shared my spells. I'm going to write them out for the Coven Witches. I answered all the questions in the Q&A. I'm just about at the end. I told you guys about the OnlyFans. I told you about BronxWitch Bodega. New merch designs. Yeah, changes, the tower coming down, transformations, rebuilding better, smarter, wiser, rebuilding maybe with less, but with more. I think that's the impact I wanted to have on the world today. I think that's everything from me. Ooh, live spells. Yes, we can definitely do that in the coven. That would make sense. It would basically be what happened at the staycation, but we could do it virtually. You know? Everyone could be on camera. You guys, I think I'm going to make some pumpkin ginger scones from Trader Joe's tomorrow. Do you support it? Do you guys support it? I'm touching up my lips. If you guys subscribing to my OnlyFans made it possible for me to go live, I'll go live over there. I haven't taken my makeup off yet. The little bit that I have on, but I haven't taken it off. It's there. Is it genius? Thank you. I appreciate you. I couldn't believe it wasn't taken. That's what shocked the shit out of me. I was like, are you serious? No one thought of this? Really? Shout out to you, Rihanna, for putting mirror finish on your products. You know, she thinks of the little things. Yeah. And not only dosage, but also like the strains and stuff. When you hear Rastas talk about cannabis, they talk about how what is being cultivated now is being cultivated to be like, high off of your ass, knock you out like crazy stuff. And it's like, no, the plant as it's naturally occurring is a lot milder than that, and for a good reason, So dosage and also like what we're doing to the plant now is not in the vein of like what is needed for like proper respect of the energy. It's like it's always taking the best part and being like, oh, let's go to the extreme with that. And it's like, no. Plant is a whole plant. We need it all. Oh, well, there you go. Yeah. Well, because you're used to a product that's not hyped up, crazy, hybrid, genetically modified, nonsense, The original plant is way milder than what gets like sold. So, oh yeah, that's right. I forgot you're at a dispensary now. Yes, facts. There's a lot to learn about it though. And I felt like, with all that I had learned, it's wonderful. But do I walk around drinking cough medicine when I don't have a cold? No, I don't. So, as much as it is a medicine, am I actually sick? Do I have these things that such that I need to be medicating them? And the truth was no. So I had to accept that, and I like scaled it back, and now it's more of um, something that allows me to like maximize on the shifts that I feel around the full moon, that it works perfectly for that. So now there's like a purpose, you know. This is the vibes tonight. All right, well, I'm going to let you guys go. I think I said that forever ago. It was cool hanging out with you and updating you. Yeah. Oh, I'm glad that was a bar. I had to admit that to myself. I'm like, it's a medicine. It does this, it does that. And then I was like, okay, but I don't really have those issues, you know. So, and thank you in advance. And thank you guys for all the love today and the super chats. And thank you in advance to anybody who leaves a super thanks, which I guess is like the version of the super chat that you can leave after the live. It's a super thanks. So thank you in advance to those. And all the love. Thank you to everybody who becomes my fan on OnlyFans at Topless Tarot Witch. Check it out if you want. You totally don't have to. But if you help me to be able to go live over there, I will love you forever. Hearts. Very true. Yeah, it would be crazy, right? So I just have to admit that. Oh my gosh, take a puff with you for your birthday, Maruda. Oh my goodness, I literally just like put out this teeny tiny thing. You came at the very last moment, but I will try to make this happen for you for your birthday. Because happy birthday. Happy birthday. Yes. Happy birthday. I see you, June. Yay. Just in time. You just made it. All right, witches. That's the high tea live, my dears. We witched. We took questions. We swapped spell skills. Okay. I'm feeling good about it. Thank you guys for the love. Again, all the super chats, the super thanks, the fan follows on the OnlyFans. If you are not on my mailing list, I would recommend that you do that. Okay. I have a separate mailing list from the shop. If you joined a mailing list at BronxWitch.com forever ago, that is very much the shop mailing list at this point. Okay. So you're not going to get updates there about like things that just we're doing up over here. You know what I mean? So make sure to go to the description box and join my mailing list, so you don't miss out on anything too epic And yeah, I'd love to see you guys in some sessions, not just on OnlyFans. You can do that too. But just in like reading sessions and coaching sessions, I'm able to do more of those now. So if you haven't checked my calendar in a while, definitely do that. You'll see a lot more availability than you probably did back in the day. So check that out. And yeah, we can hang out. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys in the next one, next full moon, I guess. Right? Book club, I'll see you tomorrow. Yes, it sure was. It was fun hanging out with you guys. Thank you for being here. Have a good night. Blessed be. Wait, hold on. Yeah, I think you can take your platform wherever you want to go. That's the beauty. That's the freedom, right? It's only your lovers, no haters. Only your lovers get to come. All right, blessed be. Good night.